What's up, man? It's your boy MoonDog 3732 from the MoonDog 3732 show on YouTube. Hey, man, watch the show, like, subscribe, share, and comment. I will slow it down, but I'm kind of under a schedule. You know what I'm saying? Also, y'all see my homie over there, Tiffany DJ. You know what I'm saying? From the podcast that's going to be on YouTube as well, and also Apple and other streaming platforms. The.com, the MoonDog3732show.com. Merchandise, blogs, which we gotta get back on them. I gotta get back on them blogs, man. I've been kind of, hey man, working. I get that to you, right? Also the merchandise. But here we go. Now they always say never talk about politics and religion and work. So we've already talked about politics a little bit. So we're gonna talk about religion some. I'm gonna go into a certain thing. I know how cuz feel about certain things. Hey man, my granddad was a preacher, even though he got into a shootout with another preacher, but that neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to church all the time because we know that religion is divisive, right?
Thanks.
But people still hold on to religion and things like that. Even in the movie Minister Society, the dude Sharif's dad was talking about Sharif, and Sharif's dad was like, man, if Allah can make Sharif a better person than Jesus ever could, I ain't got no problem with that, right? Or Christianity ever could, I ain't got no problem with that. A lot of times I think people get too caught up in like, well, my religion does this and my religion does that. But if your religion hasn't made you a better person, you might need to reconsider certain things. So cuz when we talk about religion, I know you're a religious person, and I know you lean heavily on your faith, you write lists and you speak to God and you put your thoughts out there into the universe.
Hey.
How does and why do you lean on religion when it seems like the world is going to hell in a handbasket?
For one, it gives you hope. Like, if you lean on your own understanding without anything leading your beliefs, you can be lost and may be the issue in the world. So that's why, for me, I have a strong belief system in God. Um, as far as it being edible, evidence that when you speak or ask or you pray, not for just material things, but spiritual things, and you actually see that coming into play, or you experience some things that you pray for and it works, and you see it works. So it will it helps me grow in my faith, actually seeing the things that I pray for and that comes to pass. So, or speaking it into the universe, and God being the creator, it just strengthens my faith in God. But at the same time, I think it's there to control the masses as well, to give us something to hope for, to give us something to believe in. And I feel as if it's beneficial in my life.
Now, what Cuz says, based on what she does and what she uses it for, and because she's actually seen certain things. Now, me, eh, I'm not the biggest believer in a lot of things, but I have actually seen things that I couldn't explain.
Uh-huh.
I
Okay.
I put thoughts out there and they came true. I was in a situation. I'm like, man, hey, give me a sign that if this is for me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Man, you talking about the bottom of that thing fell out so fast, you know what I'm saying? And I had to take it. I had to thought about it. After everything had went down, I was like, man, I did ask for a sign.
Right.
Not only I get one sign, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Right.
signs that I shouldn't be in a particular situation.
Right.
Now, a lot of times with me in particular, because of I'm in the South, I grew up Baptist, my granddad was a preacher, all those things, I was going to church all the time. I had like so many questions coming up about going to church because like my mom would send us to church, but she wouldn't go to church. And I'm looking like, I know that you went to church all the time, but and then my brother, like, he would like skip and he would like go to my cousin's house, which is like right on the next street from the church. And so, like, with me, I had like so many different questions, stuff like that. And even when I ask somebody about Christianity in particular, only thing they would be able to do is like tell me something in the book to justify Christianity. And let me give y'all a couple of situations. It clearly states in Acts 17 and 24, the God who made the world and everything in it, the Lord of heaven and earth, and does not live in temples made by human hands. If it's clearly stating that God is not in these places, why do we even go to church?
He's not there physically, but he's there spiritually.
See? He's not there, but he is there.
Spiritually.
See? And so when I'm thinking, like, I'm like, man, so y'all guys going to church and then y'all telling me about tithes and offerings, about paying the building fund. Y'all know about the building fund. Or y'all telling me about now what cuz goes now for me, a lot of times the religion that's in place is in place for a reason. But I think that a lot of times that man or the people that's over delivering the religion to a person twist it for their own means.
It's not that they're twisting it, but that's their interpretation. We have that way of interpreting.
Interpretation could.
Yep.
Now at the same time, it clearly states that it is easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a rich person or a rich man to get into heaven. But we know that a lot of our mega preachers are mega rich. So is that hypocrisy? Or is that or are they just earning a great wage for what they do? I be lost sometimes. So I be
no way anybody can tell us who's in heaven and who's in hell. So that's my thing. Plenty of rich people have died, and probably they're in heaven. But who's to say? Because we don't know.
So in other words, if when I pass, everybody go die anyway, and I get up to heaven, I'm in line waiting for my name to be called off. I look around, I be like, man, how you get in here? You know what I'm saying? Like you in the wrong line.
That's no easy ticket to get kicked out because you're passing judgment. So you need to thank God for the same grace you gave him, you gave me.
And then that's when they be like, hey man, you in the wrong line.
Exactly.
The Christian line over here, you doing judgment.
Right.
That line is over there. Matter of fact, take the escalator and go down a couple floors.
I was just asking the question. No, you show grace. That's when that grace is shown. You grant grace. You thank God that you pass the test, I guess.
Right. In ancient Egypt or in African cultures, they'll put your feather and your heart on the scale or whatever, and whichever one. Now at the same time, another thing that always, perplexed me, because if we look at the world, a lot of things is going wrong with the world. People been dying ever since people been getting here. Ever since Cain killed his brother, we've been murdering and things like that. One thing it said that I couldn't understand with dealing with religion or particular the stuff that we was taught, right? It said that it was Adam, Eve, they kids. Cain got kicked out, got the mark on him, and went to the land of Nod. What? Where other people come from? I be lost. And then after that, it tell me, hey man, We know that your life is rough, right? It even says in Isaiah 45:7. Now I'm gonna do like some people do me. They just pick certain Bible phrases. You know what I'm saying? They don't give you the before and after. They just
Right.
give you that part there. It clearly states, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all those things. You made evil and you know what evil was going to do to me, but you still place it on me.
Yeah, but at the same time, he granted you favor and he granted you grace, but at the same time, he granted you free will. So the evil he created is caused by your free will. You chose to operate in the flesh. So that evil is because you're outside the purpose and the plan he has for you. And even if you're walking with God, the spirit that's within you, he wants to know that it's strong enough to prevail the evil. You won't conform to the evil ways of the world. He wants to know that his spirit is strong enough in you so you can prevail and continue to walk with him.
I never thought about it like that. That like now she got me on that. I never thought about that. She made me think that we don't have to do evil.
Mm-mm.
We choose to do evil.
Yep, that's that free will.
Oh, let me get my notes out. Hold on.
And the flesh is evil within itself. That's the evil he created. It's we're living in the flesh, but he wants us, because when we die, our flesh is not going to be with the Lord. It's our spirit. So he wants our spirit to be with him, to grow in him. So the flesh, that's the evil. That's evil. So if your spirit is strong enough to control your flesh, you're doing an awesome job. You shall see his face.
Cuz breaking it down now. But you know me, I have a million questions, right? Because you know my granddad was a preacher. My uncle was a preacher. I have a lot of people in my family that's other cloth and things like that.
Right.
But
Likewise.
you know me, I'm more of a straight down the line logical thinker at times. You know what I'm saying? At times, and
Period.
I'd be like, man, so we know that this religion was kind of forced on us back in the day. And I wonder, like, something like, so let's just say if the people from India were control of the world, would we be Hindus, or do y'all think we'll still be Christian?
No, very much so. We are very much Europeanized. So
And that's what I
colonized.
like about Cuz go stay like she still got her sense. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gone too far to be like, hey, but we know what really happened. Like, so
Right.
Cuz ain't gonna be like, well, no. She know what the business is. Cuz know about history too. So we have been colonized,
Yeah.
European. You know what I'm saying?
But at the
And
time, it's better to practice Christianity for me and not and die and go to heaven than not practice and die and go to hell. So I'm gonna take my chances and for the afterlife, you know how you generational wealth. I'm just
mm,
generation. That's the generational wealth for my spirit. So I
mm.
practice here. I'm insuring myself here, and if it is what it is at the afterlife, I deal with it then. But I think it's much greater that I practice here on earth for a better life afterlife.
All right, people that's out there, do you think that religion is used to make us afraid out of fear? Because a lot of times we see like a lot of people that's telling us what the Lord said and what the Lord does, but they don't really do it. A lot of times, I'm gonna give you this is what I'm talking about. It clearly states In Matthew 23, then Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, the teachers of the law and the prophecies sit in Moses' seats. So, so you must not, so you must be careful to do everything they tell you, but do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. Now, we know that a lot of times, like I said previously, a preacher would say that I'm a man from the waist down. We know that a lot of times, even if you're on your job, your leader, your boss, your supervisor will tell you to show up on time, but they're not on time. But
Facts.
does that mean that they're not correct in what they're telling you?
Facts. And that goes back to Judah, which was one of the disciples that actually betrayed God, betrayed Jesus at the Last Supper. And those are some of the things that he said that they practice. They don't practice, but what they preach. He knew, Jesus knew that he was about to be betrayed by Judas. But Judas didn't know. So that's why you have to lean on your own understanding as far as where the word can take you.
Because we have a lot of people talking about discernment. We have a lot, and sometimes I think that when we're talking about religion, people stop thinking for themselves, like, and they just listen to what they are told. Like there's like no critical thinking. But we know that a lot of times religion does what? Religion does lean on faith,
Right.
hope, and belief
Right.
instead of what we actually see going on. Sometimes we hope that things going to get better. Even if like the word vote, when you look at the history of the word vote means to wish.
Right.
Because when you are voting for somebody, you wish that they and hope that they do what they say they're gonna do and help you out.
Right.
So, cuz in your life, do you say that? Would you say that religion is a good thing or a bad thing for you? And would you recommend people to have some type of religious foundation?
Religion is very beneficial in my life. And I pray and hope if you're lost and you have no sense of direction or a way of life, try Christianity because that is my faith. Um, or find something you believe in because that is a drive for life. If you have nothing to hope for, nothing to wish for, not wish for, nothing to work towards, it's life is not living. You're just existing. So find something you believe in.
All right. Cause now a lot of times I have questions. It's seems like I'm interviewing cuz, but I'm not really interviewing her. We got throwing stuff back and forth because she's the resident uh, authority on this particular subject, right? I often think about like when I'm thinking about things like this, the universe, God, he, she, whatever you want to call it, the entity that created everything. I also think about because you can't create something from nothing.
Facts.
Who created God, or where did God come from? Who was God parents? Who were God grandparents? Or
Nope.
I think about, does God even care about the same things that we care about? And
God
then
do.
I started thinking like, God didn't create time. We created clocks and time. We created money. We created clothes. We created cars. God created the sun, but you want us to give you some money for the light bill. So I'm looking like a lot of things that we care about, I'm not sure God actually cares about because a lot of stuff we care about, we don't actually need.
And all the stuff that we care about is convenience. It's not what God put in place for us. It's what we created for ourselves. And he put the things here so we can have some type of convenience. So I think he cares. He cares about us enough to continue to supply our basic needs. Currency, money is something we created for convenience and to segregate statuses within the human race. So, yeah, I think it's more so he cares.
So I told y'all, Cub be reading my mind. Y'all know how we used to be sitting beside each other, and I be thinking the same thing. She just took the same thing. We talking about money. I think that money is for status, and it also makes different classes to make people separate from other people. But the thing about it is, like most people that got money, they got it from the people that don't got it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But then when they get it, I ain't gonna say that T.I. got his son out here acting crazy and making up stuff for him, making excuses for him, talking about it was the person's fault because that person wasn't satisfied with being a cook at a restaurant. That ain't got nothing to do with your son being wild and out and being respectful, right? So a lot of times those things we go away from some of the things, the right and wrong, and we make excuses.
Right.
And we change the things that we care about or what's important for us, right? Now, one of the greatest stories I've ever heard was Job. Y'all want to pronounce it Job? That's good for y'all. And I'm reading the story, right? I done read the story, I done seen the cartoons and everything. I'm just like, man, does God just want us to suffer, right? And I'm just like, man, hold on, man. You mean to tell me God and the devil got a bet? They gambling on what Job will do. So they gambling. Hey, man, I tell you what. If you do this, and this, Job will turn against you. God like, nah, man, that's my nigga. My nigga, you know what I'm saying? That's my nigga. He ain't gonna turn against me. And the devil now at the same time, you know, that God cast the devil down. Lucifer, Satan, devil, look those things up. He got cast down.
Thanks.
Now, he didn't say that we weren't still cool. You know what I'm saying? We had a disagreement. But right now, we're going to see what the business is with this right here. And at the same time, you read, we'll know that y'all should know who's the ruler down here, but I need to hear nor there. At the same time, if you read, it says that one day in the Lord is worth 1,000 years, right? So you see things like, well, God created the earth in these many days. Did he create it in 6 days and rest? Or was it 6,000 days or 6,000 years? But that's neither here nor there. So when I see Job suffering, I'm like, this man really suffered just to make a point, right? But what's the point to me? Like, what's the point even necessary when God is supposed to be all knowing and all seeing, but he already knew the outcome. So why make the man suffer? I can have questions like that, like
for character builder, so he can continue to be great.
Hey man, I don't want to suffer like Job suffered. I'm just letting y'all know.
Let me tell you this. Sometimes it's more so an area in life that you need to change or grow in, and the troubles and the tests that you go through, it's only there to build that character or that trait that needs to be worked on. Like, say for instance, if you're having issues with money, with your finances, you're making poor decisions in your finances if you're continuing to have issues in your finances. So you think God just gonna bless you with millions of dollars
Nah,
to
they
keep making poor decisions with?
A fool and his money is soon okay.
Or he gonna put you in situations where you can make better decisions with those with the little that you have, and then progress with the amount that you receive, so it can be shown that you're learning and that you're actually growing in that area.
Hmm.
And in relationships where you think you're being loved and he's physically abusing you, or she's verbally abusing you, and in this area you need to grow. Your character needs to be matured. You think God gonna keep giving you simps? No. He gonna send that rugged person there to show you, okay, so now you need to grow. Here, identify this. So when I do give you that simp, you can identify it and then appreciate.
Mm. Now,
So that's
now,
it.
now, now, Cuz broke that. She broke it down. I'm telling y'all, Cuz be on it, man. So when y'all tune into the Love of Tiffany DJ, Cuz ain't, you know what I'm saying? Cuz ain't falling for anything, you know what I'm saying? So ain't trying to put no trap over there. She gonna walk around, she gonna see that trap coming. Now here we
Right.
go, cause she's looking for an alpha male. She's looking for somebody, a partner. Speaking
Right.
of which, Adam. No, Adam
Yes.
started this thing off. And I say this all the time. Adam was not an alpha male. Adam was a beta male. Adam went right up in there and got talked into something, and it's been down here ever since. Cuz you think Adam was a beta male or alpha male?
So do you really think that lady convinced him to eat that fruit?
Now,
To eat her.
by what I
To eat
read,
fruit. To eat her fruit.
I got
Do
you. I
you
got you.
really think?
I got you. So I think that she presented something. I think
In
that
the flesh
Adam,
of Adam.
yeah, I think that Adam made a choice.
And there you go. That's all that matters. There you go. That's you said it. Adam made a choice. See.
So, like Cuz say, you got two C's. You got choices and you got consequences. All consequences aren't negative. You actually have positive consequences as well, right? So if
Facts.
you out here making these choices based on whatever you believe or don't believe, a consequence is coming.
Whether good or bad. And
Where
not
it's good.
all bad choices have bad consequences. Some bad choices have some good consequences. And some good choices you're gonna make, it's gonna have some bad consequences. So don't get it twisted that all good decisions I make good, but good. Some good is gonna follow. And some
Now,
bad choices, some good is gonna follow.
now at the same time, we're not saying that if you had did something bad and something good come out to continue to do bad. No, we're not saying that. We're not
Not
saying that if you're doing things
all
good and
right,
something bad happen, don't change who you are. Continue to do those good things.
right,
But
right.
you may have to be selective in who,
And how
when, where, and why you do those things.
right, right. Facts.
Anything else you want to add, cuz?
Nah, that was a good one.
I concur. All right, with that being said, man, we out.
Peace.